78 Sports TV here. All right, guys, let's talk a little bit more about Al Haymon. All right, I just saw the brother, the Fox Strikes video. Shout out to him. He made a video asking a question to the YTBC. Why do you like Al Haymon? Why do you support him, or whatever? And I think it was a good question. All right, and I'll take it a step further. And I want to know why. I want to know people in the YTBC's thoughts on Al Haymon from a genuine perspective because I don't feel like we always. It's hard to keep it real in the YTBC. It really is, man, because you never know when somebody's saying something out of anger. Because I tend to do that shit too sometimes. Put myself on blast. Like I admit I am an emotional person. You know what I mean? And you know that could be a gift and a curse sometime. You know what I mean? And you can get emotional, or you can just start ranting and saying some shit, and then you listen to the shit about 3 days later, like, man, why I say that dumbass shit? But that's just how it is. We all human beings, and the shit happens, right? But listen, it's hard, to judge when people are keeping it real in the YTBC and what they. So I want to just play a game here and see if we can just be honest, open and honest. How many people are willing to do that, right? About uh, their true feelings of Al Haymon, okay? Because I'm gonna be real honest in this video, okay? I just want y'all to know that. Just buckle your seatbelts, get your popcorn ready, smoke your square, get you some weed or whatever the fuck you do, because it's finna get real right now, okay? And I'm gonna tell you, and I don't give a fuck who don't like it, all right? But at least I got the balls to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I was unsure about Al Haymon. You know what I mean? When he first rose to prominence, I should say, because he was around before, but when he first rose to prominence and his name started being floated around a lot, and people could start talking about Al Haymon this, Al Haymon that, and we're like, well, what do he look like? Where's the interviews? Who is this motherfucker? Um, I was skeptical, because we hadn't seen Mayweather Pacquiao fight, and then Arum then was blaming Floyd and Haymon, and Haymon was having issues with HBO. Um, Adonis Stevenson and Kovalev fight didn't happen, still ain't happened yet. So it's you don't know what to think because you don't, Heyman hasn't done interviews, so we don't know what his side of the story really is. So it's hard to just like, a lot of people tend to just jump on the side of the story that's out there, right? We haven't, Heyman just don't give a shit. He don't say nothing. So, I can understand why somebody wouldn't like Al Haymon. My perspective on Al Haymon is this, all right? And I go back and forth on the guy, you know what I mean? But my thing is, I understand, all right? This is business, all right? I'm a businessman myself, and business is shady, man. You can talk about how things should be, but that's not the way they are, okay? How they should be and how they are two different fucking things, okay? And business is shady. And Al Haymon is a very, very good businessman, which means he's very, very shady. And that goes for anybody who's a successful businessman, me included. You understand? You gonna do some shady shit. I don't give a fuck who you is. If you collected some money, you had to do some shady shit at times. Okay? You had to change some numbers in them books. You know what I mean? IRS come looking for you. Oh, I ain't gonna tell them about this, and you know what I'm saying. We all have to do a little shady shit here and there, Especially if you a mogul like this motherfucker Al Haymon, right? Now, boxing, as I said before in my last video, is run by the mob. Always has been. It's always been corrupt, fixing fights and not giving a fuck about the fighter's health and just all kind of paying off judges. It's always been like that in boxing, right? So in steps Al Haymon, and now that Al Haymon has taken over boxing, basically, right? I would say he has 75% taken over boxing, and now since that has happened, and he's 75% the owner of fucking boxing, basically. People seem to be, very upset about it, and they're mad. But really, I don't understand why there's so much outrage about what Al Haymon is doing. It's just business, okay? It's just business. We as the consumers are here to support it. So if we really didn't like it, we wouldn't even talk about it. We wouldn't make videos about it. We wouldn't fucking watch the shit when it come on TV. If we really didn't like it, but because these businessmen who tend to be more intelligent than us know that we are sheep, and they know that we're gonna sock it to their pocket. They know we're gonna sit down and watch whatever the fuck they give us. They know we're gonna talk about it. They know this already. Whether you love it, whether you hate it, if you're talking about it, you're helping them, and they know that. All right. So you're still supporting it, right? They understand this, and that's just how they get rich. Haymon, and before him it was Don King. Before him, when Don King was on top doing his thing, first the mob ran boxing, all right? No problemo. Don King, being a black man, took over the heavyweight division. I mean, owned that motherfucker. I mean, you couldn't do shit. You couldn't do shit without going through Don King. Somebody had to line his pockets. Somebody had to line Don King's pockets when he was in his prime as a promoter. When he was at the height of his power. He had to, anything that got to do with that heavyweight division, you got to come see Don King, right? That's this mafia shit, right? Before him, it was the actual mob doing it. Before him, it was the actual mob doing it. Don King learned the game. He started doing it, right? For himself. Nobody got a cut but him. And now you got, Bob Arum. He was out there. Arum is a great scumbag as well. He was doing this shit, he's been investigated by the government for fixing fights and shit like that and paying off people. So Arum is no saint. We know what Arum do. Arum don't give a shit about these fighters. Arum is trying to promote a fight with Timothy Bradley versus Gennady Golovkin. Do you really think Bob Arum gives a fuck about these fighters? Absolutely not. He doesn't. Arum cares about his lineage. He cares about his legacy that he lives behind for his children, his grandchildren, and grandchildren's grandchildren. That's all he cares about. He's going to use these fighters and put them in whatever fight. Oh, yeah, Bradley versus Golovkin, sure. Bradley, who just got hurt in the 12th round by, it was a good punch, though. I ain't going to lie. That was that was almost a Pacquiao, that Marquez Pacquiao shit. You know what I mean? That was like the perfect fucking right hand Bradley got hit with. But he got hurt by Jesse Vargas. I don't want to see Tim Bradley in there with Gennady Golovkin. I don't care about entertainment. I'm not that thirsty for a fight, all right? I'm not that thirsty for a fight. I don't want to see him against Gennady Golovkin because he's going to die. Literally. I'm not playing. I'm not trying to be funny. That brother's going to die. Either in the ring or from injuries sustained outside the ring. I mean, after the fight, It's not a game. So now, Haymon, these are my thoughts on him. Haymon has taken over boxing, 75% of it, I should say, 75, 80%. He's pretty much taken over boxing. And now these other guys who are losing out have a problem with what he's doing, right? These other promoters, they were all fucking over these fighters, right? They wasn't working with each other anyway. See, Bob Arum talking all this shit about, oh, why can't me and Haymon work together? Me and Don King used to work together all the time. Okay, why the fuck couldn't you and Golden Boy work together just a couple years ago? Both of y'all was acting like some punks. You and Golden Boy was putting out all on Twitter and the internet and doing interviews, dissing each other. And Bob Arum still dissing, playing politics. He dissing the MGM Grand. Tim Bradley got up there. Somebody told him to say it. He got up there and was sneak dissing Al Haymon, PBC after his fight. It was in the promotion for his fight. It was one of the interviews I saw, press conferences where Bradley was up there like, I know it's a lot of boxing on regular TV, but, I just think the real boxing is on HBO. So, listen, this is all a scam. It's all politics, okay? It's just like politicians. This is what they do. I'm not mad at what Al Haymon is doing. I'm really not mad at what he's doing, all right? It's still early in the game for Haymon. He got years left. For us to really know. But I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon of Haymon is the best thing that ever happened to boxing, or Haymon is the devil. I'm not jumping on either one of those. What I see is I'm not mad at him, and this is another reason why I'm not mad at him. Behind the scenes, Al Heyman does a lot of shit that we don't know about. He is a type. Look, the man doesn't care about getting credit. He don't even do no interviews. He ain't trying to be all, what they say, all in the video, dancing, singing. What I'm saying? He ain't trying to do all of that, right? He's behind the scenes, and he's getting these fighters paid. Okay, all right. And some things I can't say. You know what I mean? There's some things I can't say, but from what I've been told, these dudes are comfortable. They're not turning down these Rock Nation deals for no fucking reason. All right? No. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. I ain't gonna say no more about that. But Al Heyman appears to be a really good dude. All right, according to the trainers and the fighters and shit that I talked to, he appears to be a really good dude. I've heard stories about this dude getting people out of trouble, people getting locked up, and Heyman going down there to get these motherfuckers. I'd heard, man, I'd heard so much shit, man, that I know it ain't a lie. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers is like, Heyman got some, he's at boss status right now. He got influence. When you can get motherfuckers out of jails and make charges disappear, and before boxing scene or Dan Rafael even hear about the shit, when you can make shit go away, you got some fucking influence, okay? And why would he be doing this for these fighters and his associates? Why would he be doing this if he was just some greedy scumbag motherfucker? I don't know, man. I lean towards, I'm like this, man. I'm leaning on the side that Al Heyman, might be doing some good shit for boxing. And even with the Premier Boxing Champions, this is some good shit. This is like, look, everybody complained that Friday Night Fights was going to leave. But Premier Boxing Champions is going to be on ESPN. All right? We're seeing fights on all these different networks. Motherfuckers who ain't got cable, y'all really need to shut the fuck up. Because a lot of y'all don't even got cable, but y'all get to watch the fucking fights now. All right? It's fights on regular fucking television again. All right? And then if you want to see some shit on HBO, you get to watch the shit on HBO. But HBO ain't really putting out shit. HBO busy fucking promoting Europeans. This America, Jack. Okay? What the fuck is y'all? All HBO do is promote fucking Eastern Europeans. And I'm not hating on that. It's cool. I like motherfuckers like Golovkin. I like, what's your boy? Lomachenko. He can bang. I like them dudes. Fuck that. I used to like Kovalev. Fuck him now, though. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not mad at that. But it's just hilarious how in America, they're willing to put all their money, all their stock behind foreigners, okay? But you don't want to uplift the talent that you have right here, all right? And from what I've seen from Al Heyman, he seems to be doing a good job of getting a lot of these brothers paid, all right? They're getting paid. They're fighting, It ain't like he's trying to protect people, really, because, shit, he threw Adrian Broner as his fucking cat. That was like, outside of Mayweather, that's like his biggest moneymaker, right? He threw this motherfucker in there with Showtime Sean Porter. And wasn't fucking Sean Porter over either. He was fair to that man. Broner had all these weird ass stipulations trying to get advantages. Heyman said, nah, man, nah, can't do it that way. You gonna fight. And then, like I said, these dudes is getting paid good. Heyman's getting people out of trouble on the low. Put them on national television, teaching them all about business behind the scenes, he not trying to keep them dumb, he teaching them so that they can be their own boss, and this is what's happening. This is why a lot of these promoters and shit are mad, because he's fucking up the way things used to be, just like the pimp game, right? If I can use a street reference, right? A lot of the old school pimps and traditional pimps, who are used to just taking the money from the bitch, right? She send her out there on that track. She suck and fuck all night. She come back. She give you all the fucking money, right? She ain't got shit, but a stanky ass. That's all she got left. And then came a new generation, all right? Then came the person who thought on a different level and said, listen, man, I ain't got to be that greedy. I ain't got to take all the money from the bitch. You know what I mean? Instead of me pimping her, why not do this legally and me become her manager, okay? And let me set her up in the massage parlors or dating services and shit like that. And whatever happens is just happens between two consenting adults. You know what I mean? And I'll take my, 50%. You take yours. We go our separate ways. Nobody goes to fucking jail, right? No slavery charges or any of that bullshit, right? See, that's thinking on another level now. The old guard is mad at that. They say, no, that's not pimping. You're fucking up the game because they can't compete with that. Because they're getting money, but they're ducking the law. They worry about going to jail every night, But these new guys, these new people are changing the game. And I look at that in the sense is the way Al Haymon is doing things. Haymon, he could easily come in and just be taking fat ass chunks of these guys' money, right? But from what I hear, he's not doing that at all. Dudes is getting paid out here. There's a lot of dudes getting paid good money, right? Fucking with Al Haymon, and they loyal to him. These fighters are loyal to this guy for some reason, man. Right? He has to be treating them right. And what is our real complaints about Al Haymon? Really? Other than the fact that we didn't get to see Adonis Stevens versus Sergey Kovalev. And that's really, you can't even blame that shit on Al Haymon no more. Because initially I blamed Al Haymon. I thought it was fucked up, But then what happened was, when Kovalev and Stevenson was ordered to have a purse bid, and Stevenson was cool with it, Kovalev backed out of it. Him and his management backed out of the purse bid. They said, no, we're not going to do it because if Haymon wins, he going to want us to fight over on Showtime, and we ain't fighting on Showtime. So, whatever, man. Get out of here. Your bluff got called. You didn't show up, So, I mean, look, the jury's still out on Al Haymon. We don't know who the guy is. I don't know him personally or anything, but I know people who know him personally, and they say nothing but good things about the guy. All right, for the most part, all I ever hear is good things about the guy. People like him. It's just business. All right, the shit that's going on with these lawsuits and all that stuff is just business. All right, I understand what. De La Hoya has a right to be pissed off and mad, but look, you shouldn't have been smoking dope, dog. You shouldn't have been sniffing powder and doing all this extracurricular activities that you was doing that you want everybody to forget about. You were a businessman. You were a king, okay? You were the golden boy, and you lost your respect from your fighters when those pictures and stuff like that came out. Those people can't take you seriously in a business meeting. Those people can't. Don't want to be associated with you. They don't know if you're going to relapse and fuck up their money. You know what I'm saying? Nobody know. So you lost the respect of your peers and your fighters and your workers, and they went to someone else. All right? Bob Arum has no reason to be mad. Okay? You just made all this money out of Manny Pacquiao's purse for the Mayweather fight. All right? I didn't hear Bob Arum running around trying to get deals with CBS and deals with NBC before Al Haymon was doing it. No. So, I don't buy that shit, man. They need to just chill out, man. That shit is just, look, man. And as far as the monopoly situation goes, okay, because, Haymon is, we've known for like a couple years now, Haymon is trying to start a monopoly, in boxing. Sort of like what the UFC has done for MMA. I'm not mad at that. If he can pull it off. But the process of going through it is going to be a rough process because we're not going to see the fights that we really want to see right now. Until Haymon or whoever wins this battle royal. Whoever wins this battle, when they get there, all their, the power play is over, that's when we're going to know, how this all worked out. But I'm not necessarily mad at it's just business, man. It's the same thing that happens on the street and in every other fucking business, okay? You don't think McDonald's would crush Burger King if they could? You don't think McDonald's, if they could, okay, if they can control that, they would crush every single fucking burger joint that exists if they could, all right? It's just business. The dope man down the street, okay, is in 12-block radius in your city. You got 4 different dudes who got that package, all right? 9 times out of 10, they got the same fucking motherfucking manufacturer, distributor giving them the same shit, okay? 9 times out of 10, they got the same fucking connect. They just got different middlemen, right? You go right to the source, to the connect. Right, you can wipe out all those motherfuckers. They're nobody no more. You go right to the connect. I want this, and they're gone. But that's something else. It's still business though. It might be shady business, but it's business. It is what it is. I'm ranting now, rambling. 70 Sports TV. Um, that's just my quick response to the brother. The Fox Strikes. I don't. That's why I like. I like Haymon as of right now. I like the dude because the fighters tend to like him. You know what I mean? I don't see fighters complaining about him the way I see fighters complaining back in the day. I used to hear fighters complaining about Don King. I saw fighters complaining about Don King. I saw fighters complaining about motherfucking Bob Arum before. When we all seen that. You know? We've seen fighters complain about promoters and managers and shit. I haven't seen the fighters come out complaining about Al Haymon. So therefore, if they like it, I love it. I ain't mad at them. Just give me some good fights, man. You know what I mean? And if I think he's gonna put together some good fights. We saw Peterson versus Garcia. I don't think it's a big deal, man. I think people are just overreacting to what Al Haymon is doing, man. I've yet to hear anybody really explain what they dislike about Al Haymon. What has he done to destroy boxing? Really, that's what I want to know. What has Haymon done to hurt boxing that wasn't already here before he was here? That's what I would love to hear. And please don't dodge that question for anybody who comes here bashing Haymon. What has Haymon done to destroy boxing that was not here before he got here? 78 Sports TV, I'll holla.